So last year, I think last year in the fourth quarter, we had turnout fraud of around $121 million in the distribution system. And, you know, it seems to have been a highly organized effort with a lot of collusion, right? Internal company policies and, the Employment Act of the country followed, their investigation done, people were either paid off or people resigned, whatever.
Right.
But the police continued the investigation, and yes, they were informed by police high command that an operation was taking place where several persons were going to be arrested and charged.
Right.
For this fraud. That's as much as I know. But what I can say is that the incident at the time was super disappointing, very disappointing. I remember when I fired less than a year before.
Yes.
That created major disruption. So what happened, our entire system was challenged because our IT system, we were using multiple warehouses, etc. So in the face of that dislocation,
right,
the person got the opportunity and took major advantage of it. And why I was so disappointed is that when the fire occurred, with the loss of goods and everything, we didn't need to keep all our employees. We could have downsized until we got back up.
Mm-hmm.
We took on that, we stand behind every single person. And we have 1,800 employees, and it's not body involved, there are very few people involved, but they made it was really a hard hit that they put on us. So that's disappointing. But hoping the police will, we're thankful the police have done what they've continued to investigate, and we know they're very challenged. Many things out there competed for the time, but we're thankful for what they've done so far. And we hope a strong message will send to other persons who are engaged in similar activities. Fraud was discovered. It was over several months, right? Over several months. Essentially, what it is that the system was manipulated to reflect goods being available that were not there. There was ghost inventory being accounted for, if you understand what I mean. Goods are taken out, so we'll give whatever they did with them.
Yes.
But were not shown to be moved, right?
Right.
There was a lot of collusion involved. Not one person, two person can't do this. That's how collusion at various levels. So all the checks and balances will have been compromised. I can't tell you what the police told us yesterday. They're saying that they're going to make they're going to arrest 24 persons.
24?
Yes, that's what we're told.
Oh, you don't have any confirmation as to whether all 24 have been arrested?
No, I don't have any confirmation at this time. The last number I had, my update this morning from my internal security was 17 persons have been arrested.
But at least 24 implicated, essentially.
The information that I got from the police high command that 24 persons were going to be arrested. So not all the persons, they're all employees or former employees, but not all were not. I think it's only 6 persons are currently actively employed.
Among those who've been arrested?
That are going to be arrested according to the police.
These 24 at least, what's the gamut of their responsibility? Senior managers, low-level staff, mid-level staff, how does it run?
I would say from supervisory to support sales staff.
How much money is involved here?
$121 million. So that would have been in the public domain from last year, because that was reported.
Right.
Public domain, which I think is $121 million. We've seen this fire, and why that hurt so much was because it occurred in an entity that we're suffering and recovering from the biggest blow in our organization we've ever had.
Yes.
You just in my mind, and I even thought that standing behind every one of our people in the worst of times.
Yes.
It will have been reciprocated as we build back together, right? And just to know that people were actively taking advantage of a situation to that extent, it was very disappointing. I think that, the money is big, but that part hurts the most,
Yes.
That's but I think every company is being challenged now. You have to be on you're fighting challenges in the external environment with security, you're fighting challenges in the internal environment with fraud and testing of system, and it's very challenging, situation right now. Very, very challenging. And I mean, you're spending, I think the average person doesn't understand how much money companies have to spend on security.
Yes.
Which comes back into the cost of goods, because when I look at what Jamaican companies have to spend on security versus some of my counterparts in other countries, it's just ridiculous. We have to be securing the goods, securing the movement of the goods, we have to secure ourselves on the inside. The security cost is just too much a part of the business. I mean, there's a real cost to the, there's a real business and a real cost to consumers, and a real cost to society because of our security issues. Well, I mean, a big part of that we have now built back our warehouse, and so we have now relocated back. So that having these multiple warehouses all over the place was part of the issue. So the consolidation back to one operation and putting it back, you know, it's definitely a big step in making sure that don't happen again.
Right.
But it's not, you have to understand, it was the situation created an anomaly in the way we operated, and it was taken advantage of.
Yes. Okay.
So when we lost the warehouse, they couldn't find. You had to find multiple points, right, to operate from. We had to keep going. We had to keep supplying customers and consumers with what we had.